morning and welcome to P&B Sports Show. I'm your host, Arako Tom. This weekend in the Premier League delivered a result that may look slim on the scoreboard but huge on the table. Manchester United defeated Newcastle in a very strong win, and with that single goal came a major shift in the standing. That win now sees Manchester United and Chelsea tied on 29 points, but United remains 6th on the table, just behind Chelsea in 5th, with the race for European spot tightening rapidly as we approach the halfway point of the season. To help us break down the match and the tactics and what this means for the title race and top 4 battle, I'm joined by Mr. Abel Sunday, our in-house sports analyst, and Ero John, a sports analyst from Benin City. Good morning, gentlemen, and welcome.
Yeah, good morning, Tom. Good morning, Mr. Ero. Of course, the extra of me, that's why I call it. But you know, the Benin, patience. There's no two ways about it. Ero, good morning, and I believe the insurance is doing very well in Benin as well.
Good morning, Mr. Tom. Good morning, Mr. Abel. Compliments on the student. Yes, Bender Insurance is doing very well. They won their last game. So kudos.
Yes, as Bender Insurance lost their last game, won their last game, that's how Chelsea lost their last game. But we're not here to talk about Chelsea. We are here to talk about Manchester United. Ero, Manchester United Newcastle, what was your first take watching that match and the outcome of that match? Take note that Manchester United had a victory.
Okay, and you don't need to remind me that Manchester United won the game. Okay, sincerely speaking, I'm going to be very sincere. Rivalry aside, both aside, I was not expecting Manchester United to win that game. Yes, I was expecting Newcastle to at least get the victory or at least to draw. Going by the fact that we kept pushing them, Newcastle United, I don't not in their best state, not in their best form. So, but this season, before that, they showed to be a better team than Manchester United. But the popular saying goes that in the game of football, anything can happen. So I personally was thinking that Newcastle were going to have the edge in that game. Being that Manchester United, they've not been their best this season. They've been inconsistent. They've showed a great level of inconsistency. You win today, you lose tomorrow. You win today, you lose 3 games, you draw, you lose, and all of that. So, but kudos to Manchester United. And one thing that stood out for me in that game was I discovered that Ruben Amorim started the game with a very unusual formation. This is what some of us sports analysts have been clamoring for. Switch your formation from the regular 3-4-3. It doesn't work anymore. Although at some point in the game, he went back to the 3-4-3 formation, but he started with a 4-1 defense. He started with a 4-3-1, I guess, formation. And then he got a goal in the first half in the 21st minute. Congratulations to Patrick Doku. He got his first goal for Manchester United. It was a beautiful bowling. And then they went on to seal that game by just that 1 goal. It goes to show that if the manager has been listening to the clamor from the fans and probably we, the analysts from wherever side was speaking from, there would have probably been a better improvement to that squad. So now, I guess the major reason why that, I've always told you, Tom, that that 3-4-3 formation is built around Ahmad Diallo and Brian Mbembo. If you watch football from an analytical point of view, you will know that unit is built around this guy. And now he has lost them to AFCON. They are representing their various countries. He was left with no choice but to come up with something. It's not something in one of his pre-match interview before Newcastle. I watched it. He said they had to find the solution because they've lost some of their important players to AFCON, which is very correct. And you have lost 2 most important players in that sport to AFCON. They said he was going to find the solution. And I think he found the solution that works for him against Newcastle. Sincerely speaking, I hope the solution continues to work for him over time and stuff like that. So you saw that style giving the former against the 3-man event. And I think the fact that the likes of Martinez being back to the squad, Lisandro Martinez being back to the squad, has also improved the squad. We saw Martinez versatility and would give Martinez kudos playing in a deep line midfield position, something I think he has never played before. I've not watched him play in a position like that before, and then he did absolutely well. He was there. So these are some of the things that have added some credit to Ruben Amorim on the field. Congratulations, Manchester United. They are victory payoff. Although at some points in the game against Newcastle, he went back to 3-4-3 formation, especially in the second half. But then at the end of the day, as Jose Mourinho, we always say 3 points matters more than any other thing in the game. So
Yes. Okay, like you, and we spoke earlier, and you mentioned something. You said it seems like Ruben Amorim actually knows how to secure his job when need be. But moving forward to you, Mr. Abel, this match didn't actually seem like a dominant win for Manchester United. It just seems like they were disciplined enough to get the win. And like Errol John said, all that matters is that 3 points win, and that's what Manchester United got to put them in this 6th position. So how important is this type of win in a top 6 race?
Very, very important. And you know that oftentimes we talk about the inconsistency of Manchester United. Win one, lose two, win one, lose three. I think they are playing a draft game, top one in top two, you understand what I'm saying? So but the inconsistency of Manchester United have been worrisome over the time. But I think in this, everybody gave they never gave them a chance. I beg your pardon. Nobody gave them a chance. That it's over.
Mr. Ibo, we can't quite hear you. Mr. Ibo, we can't quite hear you. Okay, Errol, if you are still there, I think maybe you should just answer this question. I'll go back to Mr. Abel, but Manchester United are now level on points with Chelsea with just goal difference, just 3 goal difference. Do you see United as genuine European contenders at this point in time?
Okay, yes, I would say yes. The reason is because, there's something I've always said on this show, and I've always told everyone that gets to listen. Inconsistency pays Liverpool. You see, you can imagine that, although we're not discussing Liverpool, but I have to treat this in answering your question. As we speak, Liverpool is stopping both Chelsea and Manchester United. This is the same Liverpool that we have even complained on this show that we've had a bad run, a team that has lost a number of games. Having just won, I think they just won 3 games back to back, and then they are topping both Chelsea and Manchester United, especially Chelsea, who claim to have been second at some point, third at some point, and fourth at some point. It's really close to show that, okay, the table is open. And then Manchester United, as we speak, they are present after 18 games, they are presently on same points with Chelsea. It goes to show that, yes, I told you something last time I was there, so I told you that at this point, the table is still wide open. The table is still open for anybody and everybody. It's not at a point where the table is lost. And then I also remember telling you that presently on the table, we are separating the men from the boys. Everybody is beginning to take their right position on the table. And this is what we are seeing now. Liverpool is in top 4 team. We are presently seeing them finding and crawling their way to the top 4. And Manchester from this season, they've not been a top 4 team, but they've always found a way to be in the top European spot. They are presently there, they are 6th on the table. Chelsea is presently 5th. Answering your question, yes, presently at the moment, I see Manchester United as a contender for the European spot. And I see that for 2 reasons, and I'm going to tell you the 2 reasons. One, because the teams that are ahead of them are inconsistent. Do you understand?
Yes, including Chelsea, especially Chelsea and Liverpool.
Chelsea is the HOD of inconsistency department.
Happy to hear that.
Yes. I'm a Chelsea fan, but I'm going to say the truth. Chelsea Football Club is the HOD of inconsistency department. You see, as we speak now, you cannot tell me outrightly that, Manchester United is going to top Arsenal or is going to top Manchester City. Not because it is not possible, but because these are both teams, they have a certain level of consistency that they show. they struggled. Arsenal struggled in their last game. But guess what? They managed to win the game 2-1. Manchester City struggled in their last game, but they managed to get a victory. That is what a title contending team should show. That is what a team that made the should show. No matter how difficult it is, try your best to salvage the points. Try your best to salvage the win. And we have seen this happen with some of these things. So, presently, Manchester United is a contender for the European sport. I mean, the European sport, I think, is from third position to, I think, seventh position, because we have the Champions League, we have the Europa League, and we have the conference.
So,
yes, they are finally a contender at the moment of the European position.
Okay.
But how sure are you? Sorry, the network cut me off. But how sure that Manchester United will still finish that seven? Because sometimes when they gather some momentum, you find out that after 1 or 2 games, of course, they go off. And they are so woeful on the pitch. So, but sorry, before I was making a point before I went off. I was talking about what they proved during their game against against Newcastle United. Actually, they showed maturity and also discipline. There's no two ways about it. I want to talk about the defensive aspect of it, because after scoring that first goal, often that we see Manchester United taking a lead and they cannot even protect it. Before you know, they're shaking the back. And since you rightly said about what you said something about Martinez, yes. For the latter of last season, Martinez was interested in injury, go down and come back. But I think that's also a factor. But I want us to this player that we're not really paying attention to. I think Heaven or something. Heaven has been fantastic. The 19 years old defender, which has showed it all. He has been so fantastic. They signed him from Arsenal, and I think that's a very, very smart back. Very cheap, but he's doing very, very well. Not that you just go and buy Sesko with over how much, you go and buy Mbamu with how much, you go and buy these players and just dump them there, nothing. Look at the reckless way of buying players, the likes of Anthony, if you are bringing those guys, what is that his name again? The goalkeeper, you guys goalkeeper, Onana, that they have to ship out to, I don't know whether it's Saudi Arabia or they ship it out to the Nigerian league, so that they just have to offload him. Because it's not really, for me, I don't think Onana gained respect in Manchester United. He didn't. Rather, he was a thorn in their flesh. Rather. But talking about those guys, this is the kind of thing you need to see. Defensively, they were disciplined, they were able to protect that. Even Newcastle have a larger part of possession in the second half. But again, I will also say, even giving credit to United defense, forcing the Newcastle strikers for some kind of errors or something. But I think Newcastle were not still lucky on that second half, because they created chances. We are talking about chances. They created chances. They wanted the goal more. But man, they just sit back in the second half. And I think luck was also on their side. They were able to scale through that striking power of Newcastle. But over the time, even last you see Newcastle performance, you say no, they are supposed to do this over Manchester United, thinking that okay, we don't have to play. Manchester United don't have to players. The likes of Obama is not there. The likes of Ahmad is not there. The likes of what is that? What is the name again? Bruno Fernandes. And you arguably for the past 3-4 seasons, if Bruno did not play well, Manchester United don't play well. So Bruno had to play well for Manchester United to play better. And you see such a player.
We remember that every time, it seems like every time Bruno Fernandes was not on the pitch, Manchester United ended up losing all those matches, because he seems like the vocal point of the Manchester United team. But moving forward, Abel, do you think that this is this was a tactical win or a mental win for Manchester United?
Well, if you say tactically, I will accept, because you know why? For the first time in a year or 2 years, I don't know if it's up to 2 years there, I think a year. For the first time, Amory was able to deploy or change tactics. You see that even Patrick Dogo went up front. I don't know if playing back before now, went up front, and he was one that got get that goal for them. So for the first time, he was able to change. And that's why oftentimes I criticize managers that will say, oh no, it's my philosophy. My fear, your philosophy does not work. The bottom line is for you to win games. Not to come and say this is my philosophy. If this job philosophy does not work, employ another one. Use it. It's a very simple thing. They will not say you steal something. No, you not steal it. You only, that's why you are the manager. You see what is on the front. You see what you have on the template, and you just have to bring the practice. Your job is to bring the practice. Oh no, this is what we should do. This is what we should do. If I want to use the wing, okay, fine. Let's use. If I want to choke the meat, okay, fine. This is the way we can stop this thing. Not that you say no. You are bringing on that from where you come from. All right, your mom gave birth to is three what you are using. You cannot change. You cannot change. This is your DNA.
Yes.
In football, DNA changes. You better change it or else.
I want to hammer on something very important. Very important. When we look at the table, we see Manchester United at 29. We see Chelsea at 29 as well. We also see Sunderland at 28 and Brentford at 26th. And they are just 7 and 8 consecutively. That's Sunderland and Brentford. But when we look at this, I think what we have to take note is that if Manchester United wins their next match and Chelsea draws their next match or loses their next match, Manchester United is going to top Chelsea at 5th position, and Chelsea is going to fall to 6th. And also, if Sunderland win their next match and Manchester United loses their next match, Manchester United is going to fall down to 7th position, and Sunderland will most likely be in 6th or 5th position. So looking at this particular analysis, how do you think that Sunderland is actually a threat in this lineup? Because it seems like Sunderland is a team that everybody has been looking down on recently.
Well, yes, I think you have a point there. Even from the top to the 6th and the 7th position, it's just 11 or 12 points difference. And
yes.
It's not that much. It's just 12 or 11 points difference. It's not that much. So anything can still happen. If anybody is inconsistent, it can still happen. But how sure are you? And I think it's still very early in the season. Yes, we've almost done with the first half of the season. I think they play 16 games each. So
18 games each.
This is how they play the of winning the title or not winning the title. But one thing I know about this is, does these teams have the squad depth? Do they have it? Because what will really count, what will really matter now from next year, 2026, what really matters now is the team that has the squad depth. That is the team that is going to do better. Because right now, you've played so many games, just like Manchester United now, God forbid. Some might come back injured. Some might come back injured. When they come back, what are the replacements? Who are those people that will come back to them and fit in that same day as if nobody was missing? But when you call the likes of Arsenal, yes, you can say, yes, they have the squad depth. When you call the likes of Man City, you say, yes, they also have the squad depth. Even down to Chelsea you are talking about. I don't think Chelsea is going to lose the next game. I don't think so. They're going to come back very strong.
They'll be playing Bournemouth.
Yes, sir?
They'll be playing Bournemouth. So Chelsea will be playing Bournemouth today. But I'm talking about Chelsea. Yes, but talking about Chelsea moving forward, talking about Chelsea, Aero, do you think that Chelsea can comfortably win today's match against Bournemouth?
I told you earlier before we started. I will repeat what I said. Take it to the bank. Now, Chelsea this Bournemouth. Take it to the bank. You see, the reason I'm very confident in this, I'm studying Enzo Maresca over time. Although I don't have 100% trust in him, I trust him to be like 80% at my reservations about it. But I know him to be a very smart manager. I know him to be very tactical. Yes, I know him to be very tactical. I already knew that there was no one with this for some reason. Except you're a liar. Except you are the one that likes to with yourself or lies to yourself. I knew there was no way going to beat a team that was on the 10-game winning streak, a team that defeated Arsenal, defeated Manchester City, defeated Manchester United. I knew there was no way going to beat the team, no matter what was at stake. Even when we scored the goal, I knew that, okay, the worst that will come out of this game will be a draw. Because I know how Chelsea can play. But I'm telling you categorically here right now that we are going to defeat Bournemouth today. We are going to do that very soon. Yes.
Okay. Mr. Abel, looking at Manchester United's performance against Newcastle. Do you think that they are going to win today's match against Wolves?
You know, I said something earlier. Wolves is not even an easy. They are fighting they are fighting a battle as well. They don't want to go for relegation, so it's going to be a very tough game. But one thing about Manchester United that we often see this season is the consistency. And I said it earlier. Will they keep that tempo? They will give you a very good performance today. Tomorrow they give you an abysmal performance again on the pitch, and that's what we've seen. And that's what what they call Ruben Amorim have been dealing with. They are unable to keep those 2 or 3, 4 games together. There are the point that he did 2-3. Then again, he went down to the normal setting we know again. Do you understand?
Yes.
But I hope they pick up. I wanted Amorim to succeed. There's no two ways about it. But I hope they pick up. But because Man U is a traditional club. Everybody loves Man U in England. It's one club that has sentiments of.
I don't love Manchester United.
That's why you are not in England, because you don't love Manchester United. He said everybody loves Manchester United in England. You are in Edo State, Benin City. Please be cautioned.
So I feel they can do well, but if only they can remain very disciplined and just keep the tempo and mature in that game. Keep the tempo. But when the likes of Martinez that is bad, you have Luxor. This Luxor, don't talk about Luxor. Luxor is a very, very solid defensive player for Manchester. He helped them to hold that back line very well. Luxor, and he plays almost every week in that back.
Okay.
I disagree with you.
Ero, we know you disagree with him, but I think what we are going to do is tomorrow, after Chelsea's match, we are going to run an analysis, and after Man U's match, also we are going to run an analysis, then we are going to know, we are going to get the results from what people have said. Thank you both so much. Thank you both so much for your in-depth analysis. But please, you people should stay with us. Right now, we're going to be moving to our next segment. And our next segment today is our personality of the day. And our sports personalities of the day are Sinagami and Latif Ayodele, 2 close friends and key members of Anthony Joshua's inner circle, whose lives were tragically lost in a fatal road accident in Nigeria. The accident occurred on a busy highway and involved a vehicle carrying Anthony Joshua, while the former world heavyweight champion survived and is reportedly stable. Shinagami and Latif Ayodele sadly lost their lives. Shinagami was Joshua's longtime strength and conditioning coach, a respected performance expert who worked with him for over a decade, helping shape his physical dominance at the highest level of boxing, while Latif Ayodele, fondly known as Lats, was Joshua's personal trainer and close friend, deeply involved in his daily training, routines, and overall well-being, both inside and outside the gym. They are personalities of the day because they represent the often unseen backbone of elite sport, the trusted professionals and friends who support champions behind the scene. Today, we honor their lives, their contributions to sport, and their impact on one of boxing's biggest names. May their soul rest in peace. So those are our sports personalities of the day. Mr. Abel, I spoke to you earlier about this, and I think you actually sent me the video at first. So what do you think about these two and about the accident that occurred, and how do you think it's going to affect a person like Anthony Joshua? Quickly, in 1 minute.
It's very, very sad. A very sad one. And of course, most of people will agree with me. I don't want to be sentimental here. Most people will agree with me that yes, Nigeria has happened to them. That's the truth. And that is why we're talking about, anyway, this is not to be time. Let me not digress. Sports, because oftentimes this is the only time we talk about infrastructure. We think that it happens imagine a caliber, somebody like Anthony Joshua will now involved in a motor accident. Look at the vehicle. If you look at that vehicle, if they put them that somebody come out and like look without it, the front gone, everything. This one, the trailer was even back to, not that it's even a new trailer. The car just ran into that trailer. And unfortunately for the 2 guys, they lost their life. Imagine what Captain Peter will be telling his guys down there in the UK. I know I traveled down to Nigeria to with my trainer and blah blah blah, and we had an accident. And what? This is something that can easily avert. Do you understand? It's something that can easily avert towards the sport program, sport opportunities that we're talking about.
Our producer is about to chase me from the studio. So let me go to you, Ero. Usually each athlete have their own backbone, and it seems like a fighter like Anthony Joshua has just lost his own backbone. So what do you think about the situation that's on ground? Do you think a person like Anthony Joshua can come back from this particular loss?
The truth is that he will come back, but it will take some time. People lose their parents, their father and mother, and they will come back alive. They will still find a way to eat turkey one day. I remember when I lost my father, I thought I was never going to eat food again. But here I am today. I will be battling for turkey and chicken. The truth is that Anthony Joshua is going to come back, but it's going to have a psychological effect on him for the time being. You see, losing your personal trainer and your what we call your complex coach in one day,
yes,
in private aspects, is traumatic. I mean, there's this damage it does to your mental health and your psychology as a human being. These people are not just professionals who we hired; these people are friends. So that means that aside the whole professionalism and beyond the boxing profession, he has a personal relationship with these people. Ayodele is his long-term friend. This thing is going to have a toll on him for a long time. And for the time being, I expect that we should not see Anthony Joshua in the boxing for the next 1 year, sincerely speaking. I don't know how Anthony Joshua, everybody has their own level of managing trauma and managing stress. Everybody's level of management is different. Everybody's level of adaptability is different. Each incident will take some people 6 months to get over. It will take some people a year. It will take some 2 years. It will take some 3 years, and just like that. So I don't know, but I expect that for the least, we should not see Anthony Joshua in the ring for the next 1 year. Because what we are saying here, Tom, is he did not just put the one person, we know 2 of them on the spot.
Yes.
You see, so it's going to tell on him greatly. It's going to tell on his career. Because after now, you have to now hire a new fitness coach who you have to develop a working relationship with. You have to hire a new confidence coach. And this whole thing will take time. And then memories, flashbacks, all of it will begin to come in. All because of what? All because you came down to your home country to do the testing period.
So some
injuries. So it's going to be a hard one.
Okay. So may their souls rest in perfect peace. So there you have it. Manchester United won, Newcastle 0, result that may not dominate highlight reels but could define the Premier League table as the season unfolds. United stay 6th, level on points with Chelsea, breathing down the necks of Liverpool, while Newcastle are left to reflect on missed opportunities. The Premier League is tightening, the pressure is rising, and every point now carries weight. And to Anthony Joshua, we pray for quick recovery, and we hope that you are going to be able to bear the loss of your friends. My thanks to you, Mr. Abel Sunday and Ero John. Thank you so much for your insights. And Ero John, thank you so much for your... Okay. I'm Tom, and this has been P&B Sports Show. Stay tuned and follow us on all our social media platforms. On YouTube at Politics&BusinessTV.English, Facebook at Politics&BusinessTV.English, Instagram at P&BTV_English, X formerly known as Twitter at P&BTV_ENG. For myself and our entire team here in our Abuja studio, it's bye for now.